Let's do this gel X set together. I'll show you how I did this and share some tips to take you from beginner to expert. So let's get into it. Hey friends! So here are my bare nails. First thing I'm doing is clipping the excess length, which is completely optional. Then using a needle drill bit at a slow speed at about 2000 RPMs. It's really important to lift the cuticle skin and remove any buildup on the nail that could cause our nails to lift and not last long. Next, I'm trimming my cuticles. This part is also optional. I only really do it every couple sets. Next, I'm using a thin sanding band. It's also really important to gently file the rest of the nail. This adds scratches for the product to grip to, and it removes any overgrowth or oils, which can also cause lifting. Here you see me pulling my skin back to reveal everything that needs to be removed. You have to get the entire perimeter of your nail and be careful to not overfile and cause damage. I'm trying some new tips today. I was intrigued by two things. One, they're already prepped. You typically have to file the inside of the tip to remove shine and add scratches, but these come frosted and etched with no need to file. And they also have shaping guides for different nail lengths and shapes. So we'll see if they're any good. And to size them, make sure the tips fit properly from sidewall to sidewall. I even file the cuticle area when I need to because mine are a bit more rounded. So I like to have all my sizes picked out before finishing my natural nail prep. I'm using the Modelones Dehydrator and Primer. To base coat, I'm using this one from the Gellen brand. Be careful to only apply these products to your nail and not touch the skin. So I just prepped all of the other nails the same way off camera. This last step is optional, but to further prep the tips, you can add a bit of acetone to slightly melt the gel, which will help it adhere to the nails that we just prepped. I'm using the Gellen Builder Gel. They call it a functional gel. To apply, I like to coat the tip with an even layer of the gel and then add some extra to the cuticle area. You'll see me scrape it off the brush here. It's helpful to have a lamp nearby and ready. This one I'm using clips to the table and has a flexible stand. So when you're applying, you start from the cuticle area and you apply pressure as you watch the gel reach the tip of your natural nail. You have to maintain that pressure as you flash cure. Flash cure means to cure in the LED light for about 15 seconds to freeze it in place as you work on the other nails. And just like that, you have a gel extension. Something I've been experimenting with lately is applying the tip with a small gap slightly above the cuticle area. By doing this, you are ensuring that the tip is on the nail and not touching the skin, which can lower the chances of lifting and losing a nail. We end up filling that gap easy peasy later on too. And it's hard to see now, but you will see that gap better when I file. There are other things that can cause lifting, like air bubbles, which I will show you on the next nail. It's important to watch the gel fill up the entire nail to create a seal. If there is any bubble, especially on the perimeter of the nail, it means it's not fully adhered, and that gap will grow and grow until the entire nail pops off. So we want to avoid that. So I'll show you two tips on this nail. First, I'll show you what to do if you don't have enough gel. If the gel is not reaching the tip of your natural nail or you notice a corner wasn't reached, don't panic. All you have to do is slide the tip off and bring the gel with it. You can add a bit more and then that should solve the problem mess-free. Now I want to point out the air bubble that I caused by not maintaining the right amount of pressure as I tried to cure the nail. So it was kind of quick. I'm going to go back and show it to you again. I want you to pay attention to the tip of my nail. As I move, you see the air bubble form, and luckily I caught it right before it was exposed to the LED light for too long, but you do not want to cure bubbles, especially around the edges of the nail. That will definitely cause lifting. And for this nail, I applied way too much product, and I left it in the video so you could see what that looks like. You can tell because the gel continued to spread beyond the natural nail, which would cure onto your skin. It could burn, so don't do that. If that happens, remove it like we did earlier by sliding it off and just redo it like I just did. Here's what they're looking like before filing. I didn't show it, but I made sure to give the whole set a full 60-second cure in my big lamp since I had only flash cured the nails. I'm following the length guidelines that go across the tips. I'm using the second line. It really helped me keep the nails even and make sure that they were all the same length. Using a hand file, I'm sharpening up the edges. I like a crisp square shape, so I'm trying to keep my file in a straight line, moving back and forth, and I'm also trying to keep the file right against the nail, like at a 90-degree angle, as opposed to filing underneath the nail or on top of the nail. I love that the Gel X system makes it really easy to file, makes it super beginner friendly. I always make sure to seal the cuticle by going around it. I'm using my thin sanding band to do this, being very cautious to remain most of the pressure where the tip and the natural nail meet and not file too much into my real nail. We don't want to cause any damage. The goal is to get the tip flush to the natural nail. The surface of my tips came prepped already, but I'm still going to give it a light file on top. And if you're using a soft gel tip that is glossy, you should definitely be filing the surface of your nail like I am right now before moving on. I'm brushing away all of that dust, and then I'm just going to clean up the nails with some alcohol and a dust brush. To fill the gap we left earlier, you just have to paint an even layer of that same builder gel from the cuticle. So you want to take your time when you're doing this. Be careful not to get anything on your skin. This step is going to make everything flushed from the natural nail to the tip, and it just helps you fit the shape of your cuticle as much as possible, and it adds an extra layer of strength to make sure that these nails are durable. Once I cured it for 60 seconds, I'm moving on to the nude base for the design. These are the polishes I'll be using for the design. Here I'm just painting the first layer, which it was pretty see-through, so fast forward to the last layer. I ended up doing 3. Here's where my inspo is from. I'm recreating this exact look. It's so beautiful. So I did some French tips, and I did this by making 2 lines, starting close to the bottom to create a really deep smile line. The smile line is the curved line on the French tip, and the lower your corners are, the deeper the smile line would be. I start to angle the lines close to the middle until the lines meet at the top. I start flicking my brush a little bit more at the top to begin that curve as well. I work on that curve line a little bit more, and then I start to fill in the sides with polish as well to complete the look. I make sure I add any finishing touches to the line before I cure it. And this is what we're looking like. All of the nails are French tips, so I'm doing the same thing with this Macart Silver gel liner as a base for the rhinestones. These tips are going to have flowers and rhinestones. These are the flowers and rhinestones that I'll be using. I went ahead and picked out the ones that I'll need. And I'm using some Macart Rhinestone Glue, which is actually a gel, to apply these. I'm just putting this where the rhinestones and flowers will be, and then adding a layer of my Mia Secret Glass Finish top coat on top of that. It's going on the entire nail. Then I'm just going to place the flowers and rhinestones. I'll let you watch me do that and then just perfect the placement. Then I go in and top coat the Frenchies as well. I cured this for 60 seconds, and the last thing I did was add the center of the flowers, the little beads, and the nails are done. All that's left is to add some cuticle oil, and then I'll model them for you. Here they are. I am so happy with the finished product. They are stunning, definitely catch your eye. I'm really hoping you guys enjoyed this video and liked going through the process with me. And I hope that the tips and tricks were helpful and that you guys are able to do beautiful Gel X nails on your own. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!